Summer is in full swing at the moment. Where I live, it's a bit of a tourist-heavy area, close to the beach. A lot of bars and restaurants, and I like just getting out and having a look at what's going on in the world. And the other day, I was walking and walked past this pub that is close to my house, and this was probably in the afternoon. It was a hot day, sun was out, and the pub had its doors open, and they had a girl singing, playing the guitar, and you know, whenever someone's sort of playing the acoustic guitar and singing, they're going to be playing like these classic songs everyone knows. And I didn't know it at the time, but the girl was playing, well, she was singing "Blue Jeans" by Lana Del Rey. It took me. I actually stopped to listen to it because I couldn't remember what song it was, and I was like, oh, it's like not like a terrible song. Like I'm like, oh, I actually remember kind of thinking it was all right. And I just remembered the lyrics where she said, "I will love you till the end of time. I would wait a million years." And then I didn't have my phone on me, but got home and googled the lyrics, and I was like, oh, it's blue jeans. And I think just because it was those lines that I'd heard, but I was thinking like, okay, what's the meaning behind this song? Like, why is this girl singing it? Um, and given all the information that's now out there on the internet, it's like all the categories of the human experience and relationships. I feel like they're getting better and better to find. And after reviewing the entirety of Blue Jeans, to me, it just makes sense that it's like an Alpha Widow song, which, for those that don't know, Alpha Widow is a woman who's had a relationship with a guy or had sex with a guy, and like basically it was incredible. And she sort of hung up on that guy and like compares all future potential partners to him, and like he basically owns her emotions. Um, some of you will, I guess, know this from real life, or for others who haven't seen this at all, like just trust me that it's out there. But it's, I think, interesting to consider that these pop songs, and this one, Blue Jeans, has 400 million views on YouTube, and probably similar amount on Spotify. Um, that these sort of sing along songs where, yes, the instrumental is nice, like it's a nice sort of string, like almost synthy string sound, but you're not going to have 400 million views just for that sound. There's like a version of it on YouTube by the Vitamin String Quartet, which is, yeah, it's nice as well, but there's only going to be a few people that are like, oh, I like this version of it. Like, the reason this song has 400 million views is the lyrics, and that it speaks to an experience which must be very common for a lot of women, and that is this idea of this partner who they would wait till the end of time for. So yeah, this was released in 2012. It was very popular when I was sort of in university. Lana Del Rey had that album, Born to Die, and yeah, it was everywhere. Didn't mind it. Definitely not the worst pop music I've ever heard, but I think it's interesting in retrospect to see where, like, what audience this was targeting, and why it was so successful. Like, that it's no accident that it was so popular. So we'll get into the lyrics. So I'll just read out the lyrics and then um, discuss how this fits into the theory of the Alpha Widow. So the first verse is: blue jeans, white shirt, walked into the room, you made my eyes burn. It was like James Dean for sure. You're so fresh to death and sick as cancer. You were sort of punk rock. I grew up on hip hop, but you fit me better than my favorite sweater. And I know that love is mean and love hurts, but I still remember that day we met in December. Oh baby. So this is just about the guy and the meet. So because this is a pop song and you're singing about the other party, you have to make the the guy in this instance, or it could be the girl. If in other songs, like very generic. So James Dean, like one of the most famous, like handsome young movie stars in history, sort of like a guy that every girl would have liked in that era. Blue jeans, again, like every guy would have blue jeans, white shirt. It's, you know, yes, you can imagine a guy looking attractive in that look, but this could apply to any guy. Any girl could listen to this song and think, oh yeah, that the guy I really liked. He had jeans. And that's it. Is trying to pull in a wider audience as possible. Um, Walked into the room, you made my eyes burn. So yeah, the guy's hot as. Um, the line, "You're so fresh to death and sick as cancer," pretty ordinary line, in my opinion. Doesn't mean anything. And sick as cancer, like I don't know. I don't think it's something that if someone said that to me, like I wouldn't be like, oh, that's a compliment. But that's what they went with, so that's great. And then he goes, "You were sort of punk rock. I grew up on hip hop. Very like Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne. Like, wouldn't be surprised if the songwriters even thought about that when they put that in. You fit me better than my favorite sweater. Just very generic as usual. Love is mean, love hurts. Again, nothing that we haven't heard before. And then the last line's interesting, but I still remember that day we met in December. So the meet for any relationship or any like sexual encounter, like that meeting is very important. You remember them when you met someone in a relationship, and especially like in this instance, talking about like a really hot guy or like the number one guy that she's ever met, she's going to remember like that moment that she met him. And this is like things for, now it's like 70% of relationships start on dating apps, which the meet for that is terrible because you're going on the app expecting it, and you're only meeting people who've already met people the same way. Meetups, or like the meeting point, is important. Like even this, she's saying, I remember the day we met in December, so months or years ago. Like the meeting is powerful, and that's why it's written in the song. And then we have the chorus. I will love you till the end of time. I would wait a million years. Promise you'll remember that you're mine. Baby, can you see through the tears? Love you more than those bitches before. Say you'll remember, oh baby. Say you remember, oh baby. Oh, I will love you till the end of time. Okay, so yeah, it's like love you more than those bitches before. So again, it's a guy that attracts a lot of women, has had a lot of experience, and that's the guy that girls like. He's gone. Like she's waiting for him. She said she'd wait a million years, and these are, yes, the stereotypical alpha widow waiting for that guy to come back, or waiting for the guy who's going to be better than him. Um, and they'd rather wait than have a healthy relationship with someone else. Maybe they can't, but either way, it's like it's not a judgment. It's just this is what this song is saying, and that's probably why it's so popular, because people or girls listen to this chorus and they're like, this is my experience, like mirrored back at me, and that's part of what music is, and films. It's tapping into the psyche of people, showing them a mirror so they can view it and listen to it like a hamster, like, or a mouse just spamming it in the little experiment. They want to feel seen, and this is a song that makes them feel seen. And then even like the say remember, like she doesn't even know if this guy's going to remember her because she's just another one of the girls that he's had. She just wants him to remember that she's the one, but she doesn't know it. Um, anyway, moving on to the next verse. Big dreams, gangster, said you had to leave to start your life over. I was like, no, please stay here. We didn't need no money. We can make it all work. But he headed out on Sunday and he said he'd come home Monday. I stayed up waiting, anticipating, and pacing, but he was chasing paper, caught up in the game. That was the last I heard. So, yeah, this guy, he slept with her and then he moved on, lied to her, said that he would be home or at her home tomorrow, and she never heard from him again. And all that she heard was that he was trying to make make money, caught up in the game. So, maybe crime or whatever it is. Game could also be like seeing women, but I think in this instance, it's more about that he's trying to make money, and that to him, money is more important than she is. And she's saying that we don't need money, we can make it work, but you always need money to make things work. You always need some money. You can't make it by on nothing. And so this guy has gone and left, and that's the guy that she thinks about the most. It's not the guy that stays around, not the guy that says, like, the inverse of this is the guy that says, yeah, we can make it work with no money. Um, but that's not what this song is. It's saying this. I said this, and he left, and that's why she'll wait a million years for him. If he had have stayed, then she wouldn't be singing this song. Like everything that is mentioned, like seeing the other girls, um, being super attractive, how they met, that she won't forget. The fact that he's got big dreams, he's a gangster, that those dreams are bigger than her. Like those are the reason she's attracted to him. So when girls listen to this, it's like, yes, it's that guy that got away, the guy that had bigger dreams than me, that saw other women. That's the guy I want, or at least hope that he remembers. Even he may sleep with other girls, but um, he's still mine. Like just like the song, just be good to me. I don't care about your other girls, just be good to me. And this is the same thing. It's just like go and do your dreams, but remember that you're still mine. like um anyway, it's just interesting to see like these repeated themes in pop songs, and like perhaps it is like a solved game, pop music. Like it's the people who do it, or at least if new people do it, they see what's come before, and it's like you're not necessarily. It's not about, oh, we're just going to copy paste because we're lazy. It's like they're seeing what has worked before in terms of the lyrics, the story. Because this song, it's a story. It's not like a piece of music. Like it is, but it's more about the story that she's telling. And songwriters of the new generations, they see what came before. They understand the language and how, like, what type of the psyche that they're tapping into, and then they just smash it. Like this song, it's written perfectly. It's generic enough that anyone could relate to it. Um, but it really understands the concept of the man that women want and can't get. So on to the last verse. You went out every night, and baby, that's all right. I told you that no matter what you did, I'd be by your side because I'm a ride or die, whether you fail or fly. Well, shit, at least you tried. But when you walked out that door, a piece of me died. I told you I wanted more, but that's not what I had in mind. I just want it like before. We were dancing all night. Then they took you away, stole you out of my life. You just need to remember. So, yeah, it's those first four lines. You know, this guy can do whatever he wants, and she'll be by his side. It's this whole concept of rules in dating or rules in relationships. Like if a girl is placing rules on you as a guy, like you can't follow her rules because she won't respect you. She respects the guy who um, is his own leader. Like he can't be led by a woman. Like she wants to follow him. That's the desire that this song is expressing, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just how it is. So if you're someone's trying to put rules on you, it's like, well, then this song is telling you like that they like it when you break the rules, um, and it's okay, like because if that's what they want, that's what you have to do. Um, doesn't mean you're being bad. It's like this guy in this story is like going out making money, like having fun, enjoying his life, and she loves it. So there's nothing wrong with that. But when this song is all about the like liking this guy for all these traits, you have that means the inverse of those traits are what she doesn't want. So if he was in every night, um, and he stayed, like she wouldn't like him, or she wouldn't at least have written this song about him. And not that she wrote this song because this happened, but it's more that that's what the audience wants. And then so he leaves, and a piece of her died, but she's still caught up on him. And then, you know, she says like, "You just need to remember," and then it goes back into the chorus, which is, "I'll love you till the end of time." So this guy, he slept with a bunch of women, and then he got with her, had this memorable meetup. She remembered the moment that she saw him because he was really hot, and then he did whatever he wanted, like went out, probably slept with other women or bitches, as Lana says, sings in this song. And then he left, lied about it, said he was going to go and said he was going to come back tomorrow, but then he left and just trying to make money and sleep with more girls. And that's the guy that she'll love till the end of time. So yeah. Anyway, it's just, I think for me, when like I first heard this album, I thought it was, for a pop music, it sounded alright. I think it's probably just that strings that brings you in. Um, it almost sounds like this epic song, and I think it's funny. Like, I don't know, maybe it's always been the same, but you think of symphonies and things from centuries ago and the epic tales they would tell, and now it's like you got those same themes, and it's like Lana Del Rey singing about this guy who had sex with her and then left, and like that's meant to be epic now, but like for the average consumer who's a woman, like that is epic. Like it's almost like true romance. Like that is what, in real life, it's not a fairy tale. It's like, this was the most romantic moment of my life. This guy who was the hottest guy I've ever been with, and then he did whatever he wanted and he left. But I just hope that he remembers me and maybe comes back to me in the future. And I'm going to hold on to those memories for years. Um, and I guess in that sense, this song's very effective because it taps into something that's real, presents it in this sort of epic way with this nice music. But really, it's a harsh reality, a harsh truth about life wrapped into that, but presents it in a way that's palatable for a mainstream pop audience to associate their experience, which is kind of a negative experience, or like a thrilling but ultimately unrewarding experience, and it associate it with like class because of the style of the music, like the black and white video clip, and just Lana Del Rey's voice, and her presentation, like her being the one to front this. But anyway, thank you for listening if you've made it this far, and I'll see you in the next one.